Good day, everyone. Can you solve this math challenge? Here's the question. Solve for the value of a given that a squared multiplied by a raised to the fourth power minus 1 multiplied by a raised to the fourth power minus 4 multiplied by a raised to the fourth power minus 9 equals 8 factorial. You can pause this video if you want to give this problem a try. And now, let's answer this question together. So, our goal here is to solve for the value of a. Given this equation, a squared multiplied by a raised to the fourth power minus 1 multiplied by a raised to the fourth power minus 4 multiplied by a raised to the fourth power minus 9 equals 8 factorial. So how do we answer this kind of question? First thing we need to do is to observe this equation. Now, 1 here is 1 squared. This 4 is 2 squared. This 3 is 3 squared, of course. Now, a raised to the fourth power can be written in terms of a squared. This can be written as a squared raised to the power of 2. So, all of this a raised to the fourth power can be written as this form, a squared raised to the power of 2. And now, we will use the difference of two squares because, again, 1 is 1 squared, 4 is 2 squared, and 3 is 3 squared. So if we have x squared minus y squared, this can be factored as x minus y multiplied by x plus y. So a squared, quantity squared minus 1, can be factored as follows. We have a squared minus 1 multiplied by a squared plus 1. Do the same thing in this factor, a squared quantity squared minus 2 squared. So this can be factored also as a squared minus 2 multiplied by a squared plus 2. And the last factor can be factored also as a squared minus 3 multiplied by a squared plus 3. Now, we have a lot of factors. So what we're going to do here is to rearrange some factors like this in order. So we have a squared minus 3, a squared minus 2, a squared minus 1 times a squared plus 1 times a squared plus 2 times a squared plus 3. Now, take note, the factors on the left-hand side looks something like factors of consecutive integers if a squared is an integer. So, by the way, let's focus first on the right-hand side, which is equivalent to 8 factorial. Now, 8 factorial can be written also as 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 7 until we get to 8. Now, on the left-hand side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 factors, while on the right-hand side, we have 8 factors. Now, take note that if we remove this one on the factors, the number doesn't change. So this can be written as 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 7 times 8, still equivalent to 8 factorial. And now we have 7 factors on the right-hand side and 7 factors on the left-hand side. So comparing each factors, so definitely a squared belongs to 5. A squared minus 1 is 4. A squared minus 2 is 3. A squared minus 3 is 2. And all the way up to a squared plus 3. If a squared is 5, then a squared plus 3 must be 8. Therefore, we can say that a squared must be equal to 5. So now, getting the value of a, get a square root on both sides. And now, since we have a power of 2, definitely we have two possible solutions here. We have positive or negative. And on the left-hand side, we have a, and on the right-hand side, we have positive or negative square root of 5. And that is the value of a. Therefore, our answer to this question, what is the value of a given this equation? And our answer is positive or negative square root of 5. And as always, we are done.